Welcome, listeners, to another journey into the heart of London's most enigmatic and mystical destination, the Unseen Shop. Nestled in the city's bustling streets, this haven of secrets and untold stories stands as a testament to the tales of the departed, seeking solace and resolution. I'm your guide through these hushed narratives, inviting you to step beyond the veil of the ordinary, into a realm where the silent speak and the unseen are seen. In today's episode, we explore a tale unlike any other we've encountered within the weathered walls of the shop. It's a story that whispers of innocence lost and the profound power of unspoken words. Our protagonist, the ever-perceptive keeper of the shop, meets a visitor who challenges the very essence of communication and understanding. A young girl, her presence marked by an enigmatic silence that echoes with the mysteries of her past. Join us as we unravel the poignant narrative of The Silence. Through a journey filled with empathy and keen observation, we delve into a tale that speaks volumes in its quietude. It's an episode that promises to touch the heart, reminding us that every soul has a story yearning to be heard, even if it's told without a single word. So, settle in, dear listeners. Let the ambience of the Unseen Shop envelop you as we embark on this extraordinary journey, uncovering the silent echoes of a story waiting to be told. This is The Unseen Shop, where the boundaries between life and death blur, and where every visit leaves an indelible mark on the tapestry of the unseen world.
In the heart of London, where echoes of the past blend seamlessly with the rhythm of the present, my shop stands as a sanctuary for those caught between worlds. This morning, the air is heavy with the scent of rain, and the shelves of the shop are adorned with relics that whisper secrets of their own. I'm carefully arranging a set of old music boxes, each with a melody steeped in history, when the familiar tinkle of the bell signals a new visitor's arrival. Turning towards the door, I expect to see a wandering soul, perhaps carrying the weight of unfinished business. Instead, I'm greeted by a sight that gives me pause. A little girl, no older than 3 or 4, standing quietly at the threshold. Her form is translucent, hinting at her ethereal nature, yet there's a vividness in her eyes that captivates me instantly. She's dressed in a simple, old-fashioned frock, her hair tied back with a ribbon that seems to whisper of yesteryears. What strikes me most is the profound silence that surrounds her. It's not just the absence of words. It's as if she exists in a bubble of stillness, untouched by the usual chatter that accompanies most spirits. She doesn't speak, nor does she make any move to communicate, yet her eyes, wide and observing, suggest a curiosity and intelligence beyond her years. Kneeling down to her level, I offer a smile, one that I hope conveys warmth and understanding. "Hello there," I say gently. "You're welcome here. I may not hear your words, but I'm here to understand and help." Her gaze meets mine, a flicker of acknowledgement in her eyes, but no words come forth. Remembering my encounters with Eliza and the playwright, I realize that each visitor to my shop brings a unique story. Their reasons for coming here are as varied as the artifacts that line my shelves. This young girl, with her silent demeanor, presents a new challenge. How does one uncover a story when the teller cannot speak? I stand up, gesturing invitingly around the shop. "Let's see if we can find a way to communicate, shall we?" Her eyes follow me, curious yet cautious, as she takes a tentative step forward. I lead her through the aisles, watching closely to see if any item catches her attention. But it's not just about what she looks at. It's about understanding the language of her silence. The way she pauses, the subtle shifts in her expression, the things she chooses to ignore. All these could be pieces of the puzzle that is her story. As we walk, I recall the methods of the great detectives from literature who could read an entire life story from a scuff on a shoe or the cut of a jacket. Perhaps, in this little girl's silent witness, there are clues waiting to be discovered, a narrative to be understood without words. And so, with patience and an open heart, I begin the delicate task of unravelling the mystery of the little girl who came to the unseen shop, a place where even the unspoken finds a voice. As the little girl and I meander through the aisles of the shop, I realise that this is a different kind of puzzle, one that requires more than just listening. It requires perceptive observation. She pauses occasionally, her gaze lingering on various objects: a tarnished doll, a faded photograph, a toy soldier with chipped paint. Each pause, each prolonged look, might be a clue, a silent communication from her world to mine. I ponder over these silent messages, trying to connect the dots. The doll could signify a family connection, the photograph might represent a memory, and the toy soldier, perhaps a symbol of someone she knew? Or maybe they're just objects of fleeting, childlike curiosity. It's a delicate balance, interpreting these signs without projecting my own assumptions onto her story. As we continue, I notice a pattern in her movements. She seems drawn to objects that carry a sense of nostalgia, items that resonate with the innocence and simplicity of childhood. This observation leads me to a thought. What if her story is tied not to a specific event or message, but to a feeling, an experience she yearns to recapture, or a moment she's unable to let go of? Guided by this new insight, I decide to try a different approach. I lead her to a corner of the shop where an array of vintage toys and children's books are displayed. Her reaction is immediate. Her eyes light up and a faint smile tugs at the corners of her mouth. She reaches out to a well-worn teddy bear, her hand passing through it, but her longing is unmistakable. "Ah, you like this, don't you?" I muse, allude. "These toys, they remind you of something, perhaps?" She looks at me, and in her eyes I see a glimmer of recognition, a spark that tells me I'm on the right track. Encouraged, I gently pick up the teddy bear and hold it out to her. This bear has seen many years, much like the shop. He's been a silent friend to many children. Does he remind you of your time, of your own toys and joys? As she gazes at the bear, a vision flashes before my eyes, an ability I sometimes experience when touching objects with strong emotional imprints. I see a room, warmly lit, with a young girl clutching a teddy bear identical to the one in my hands. The scene is peaceful, serene, but there's an underlying sense of longing, a palpable sense of something missing. The vision fades, and I'm back in the shop, the girl still looking at me, the teddy bear now a bridge between us. It's a poignant moment, one that speaks volumes about her life, or perhaps the life she wished she had. This revelation brings a new depth to our silent communication. It's not just about finding out who she is or what brought her here. It's about understanding her experience, her unspoken emotions. And in that understanding, I hope to find the key to helping her find peace, to move beyond the silent confines of her spectral existence. As the day wears on, the shop grows quieter, the outside world fading into the background. It's just the little girl and me, connected by a shared quest to uncover her story, piece by silent piece. The revelation from the vision guides my next steps. Understanding this young spirit's attachment to the teddy bear and the glimpse into what might have been her life brings me closer to her story. Now, in the heart of our silent exchange, I feel a deepening connection to her unspoken world. I sit down, gesturing for her to join me near a small table adorned with an assortment of trinkets and toys from different eras. I carefully observe her reactions as she examines each item. Her interactions are subtle, yet each touch, each pause, is laden with meaning. There's a pattern in her behavior, a narrative unfolding through her choices. As we engage in this quiet exploration, I'm reminded of the approach of piecing together a story from seemingly inconsequential details. Each object she shows interest in adds another layer to my understanding of her. The teddy bear, a toy train, a worn-out doll. They all speak of a childhood, a life that was cherished, yet perhaps cut short. My mind weaves these threads together, forming a tapestry of her life. She was a child who found joy in simple pleasures, who cherished these playthings not just as toys, but as companions in her silent world. The nostalgia evoked by these items suggests a longing for a time of innocence and happiness, a time before she found herself in the liminal space of my shop. But there's more to her story than just longing. The way she moves, the way her eyes linger on certain items. It's as if she's trying to communicate something specific, something urgent. It's a puzzle, and each piece brings me closer to the whole picture. Then, an idea strikes me. I retrieve a small chalkboard and chalk from a shelf, tools I've used in the past to communicate with spirits who struggled to convey their messages. I place them before her, and with an encouraging nod, I invite her to express herself. To my amazement, she interacts with the chalkboard, her hand moving with purpose. The chalk glides across the board in her ethereal grip, leaving behind faint lines that gradually form words. It's a slow process, but with each word, her message becomes clearer. The chalkboard reveals a name, a date, and a place. Fragments of her identity, and perhaps the key to unlocking her story. As I piece together the information, a realization dawns on me. She's leading me to understand not just who she was, but what happened to her, the pivotal moment that defined her ethereal existence. Armed with this new information, I feel a surge of determination. This is the climax of her story, the turning point that will lead us towards resolution. I stand up, filled with a newfound purpose, ready to follow the clues she has provided. Together, we embark on the next phase of our journey, stepping deeper into the heart of her silence, ready to uncover the truth that lies within. Empowered by the clues the little girl provided, I delve into the heart of her story. The name she wrote, Emily Carter, along with a date from several decades ago, and a location, Hampstead Heath, sets the stage for my investigation. I begin to research, sifting through archives and historical records, seeking the story behind the name. My search leads me to a tragic tale. Years ago, a young girl named Emily Carter went missing in Hampstead Heath. The story was a local sensation, a heartbreaking mystery that never found resolution. As I delve deeper, I uncover newspaper clippings and police reports, painting a picture of a beloved, joyful child whose disappearance left a void in the community. The more I learn about Emily, the more the pieces fall into place. The toys she showed interest in, the teddy bear in particular, were likely her cherished possessions, symbols of the life she lost. It becomes clear to me that Emily's spirit is tied to this unresolved tragedy, her silence a reflection of a story that was never told, a life that was abruptly halted. With this understanding, I return to the shop where Emily awaits. Her spectral eyes are filled with a mix of hope and apprehension as I approach. Kneeling before her, I share what I've discovered, speaking softly. Emily, I know about your life, about the joy you found in simple things, and about the sad day at Hampstead Heath. Your story, though silent for so long, has been heard. Emily's reaction is profound. Her form, which has always been faint, seems to gain a semblance of solidity, as if my acknowledgement of her story has given her a newfound strength. I realize that what Emily needed wasn't just someone to listen, but someone to understand, to recognize the life she lived and the tragedy she endured. But understanding her past is only part of the journey. To help Emily find peace, I need to address the unresolved mystery of her disappearance. I decide to visit Hampstead Heath, the last place Emily was seen alive. Perhaps there, I can find a way to connect her spirit to the place she once loved, to offer her a chance to say goodbye, and to let go of the world she's been tethered to. The visit to Hampstead Heath is a poignant one. As I walk the paths that Emily once trod, I feel her presence beside me, a silent companion on this journey of closure. I speak to her, recounting memories of her life, acknowledging her presence and her importance. In a quiet clearing, under the shade of ancient trees, I find a spot that feels right. A place where Emily can connect with the memories of her life, the joys and the love she experienced. There, I hold a small ceremony, a symbolic gesture to honor Emily's memory and to give her the recognition she deserves. As the ceremony concludes, I feel a shift in the air, a lightness that wasn't there before. Emily's form, once so faint and fragile, now glows with a soft radiance. Her eyes, always so expressive, shine with gratitude and a sense of peace. It's a bittersweet moment, one filled with the sorrow of what was lost, but also with the comfort of resolution. Emily, the little girl who came to my shop in silence, has found her voice in the recognition of her story. She's no longer a forgotten spirit, but a remembered soul, her tale a part of the tapestry of lives that intersect with the unseen shop. As the day fades into evening, Emily's form begins to dissolve, her spirit finally ready to move on from the earthly bounds of the shop. She leaves behind a sense of fulfillment, a reminder of the power of understanding and acknowledging the stories of those who have passed. In the quiet aftermath of her departure, I reflect on the journey we've shared. Emily's story, a silent witness to a life cut short, has found its voice in the heart of the unseen shop, a place where even the quietest tales are heard and honoured. As the evening descends upon the unseen shop, a tranquil hush envelops the space, filled with the echoes of Emily's resolved story. The journey with the silent little girl, who communicated without words, leaves a profound impact on me. The shop, a nexus for the unspoken and the unseen, feels more alive than ever, its walls steeped in the rich tapestry of stories that have unfolded within. I find myself reflecting on Emily's journey, how her silent presence illuminated the power of observation and empathy. Her story, like those of before her, reinforces the shop's purpose as a haven for lost souls seeking closure. Each visitor, with their unique narrative, contributes to the ever-evolving story of the shop, a story marked by understanding, compassion, and resolution. In the stillness of the hour, I ponder the silent stories that surround us, the untold tales that linger in the air like whispers from another time. Emily's visit reminds me that every spirit has a story yearning to be understood, a history that deserves to be acknowledged. The artifacts in the shop, witnesses to the myriad encounters, seem to hold a renewed significance now. The teddy bear, the toy train, the old doll. They're not just objects. They're relics of lives once lived, of joys and sorrows that transcended their physical existence. They stand as silent testaments to the stories that have passed through the shop, each with its own echo in the fabric of time. As I lock up for the night, I feel a deep sense of fulfillment. The unseen shop, with its mystical aura, continues to be a bridge between worlds, a place where the living and the departed can connect, where unresolved stories find their conclusion. I am more than just its keeper. I am a custodian of these narratives, a guardian of the threshold between life and the hereafter. Stepping out into the cool London night, the city's pulse blends with the quiet satisfaction of a day's purpose fulfilled. The lights of the shop fade behind me, but its essence remains, a beacon for those in need of guidance, understanding, and peace. As I walk away, the memories of Emily and all those who have visited the shop linger in my mind, a reminder of the unseen connections that bind us all. In the world of the unseen shop, every story, no matter how silent, finds its voice, and every spirit, no matter how lost, finds its way home.